Everywhere, every point, every picture, every championship, every issue, every place, every minute, every angle, every person. From the moment you start your day, we're there for you. As news break throughout the day, we'll make sure you get the full story.
Pilots goggles down, thumbs up. Pilots arm your quads as we go live on the tone in less than 5.
Every celebration, every time, every reaction, every city, every country, every story, everywhere. MultiGP News.
Hello and welcome. I am the wizard of the 5/8 channels, manipulator of cycles and heats, devoted to America, champion of the principles of freedom. The pilots know me as the fastest on go-karts. The organizers know me as the one with the megaphone. And I'm known in the Northeast as the guy on the bike.
It's an upcoming sport that's getting tons of recognition.
Been flying RC for about 2 years now. Been all over the world, Dubai.
Drone racing is quickly becoming a thing in the sporting industry. Pilots fly these aircrafts using just a controller and a pair of first-person view goggles. Most pilots are a part of the MultiGP Drone Racing League, which sets up races for them to compete. It has over 15,000 registered pilots worldwide, including Australia, Asia, Europe, and South Africa.
Joining MultiGP has given me a really good opportunity to meet a group of people that are into this sport. It was really hard to find a group of people flying multi-rotors, let alone know what they are and even give you any kind of assistance in the beginning. And starting out just 4 months ago, I went from not knowing anything to now I'm out here flying with some of the top guys.
The competitive nature of drone racing brings out the adrenaline in pilots, and sometimes it's between family.
So yeah, I race with my son, Davis D. It kind of makes a good combination, and I think I build better than he does, and he flies better than I do, so we kind of bounce off each other that way.
This trending sport has already been picked up by the younger generation, and the high demand for it may one day put it front and center at the Olympic Games.
This isn't online, there's no glitching, there's no cheating. You have to race with all of your skill and all of your talent and put it all on the line in order to get good and to win.
Live from the MultiGP headquarters, this is MultiGP News with your host, Chris Thomas.
Every week, we start off with the 4 biggest headlines in the multi-rotor industry, called the Morning Quad. Let's get straight to our first big headline. Viva Las Vegas! The road to Las Vegas has begun. We're excited to have this year's MultiGP champion crowned in Sin City in October. And that process begins with more than 70 regional qualifiers leading up to our 14 regional finals. You can find more information about this at multigp.com. Moving on to our second topic, let's talk about some technology. Emax has recently announced its Baby Hawk. It is an 85mm brushless quad. It runs on 2S batteries, comes with a built-in camera, and just needs a receiver to fly. Check it out at emaxmodel.com. Tiny drones are making big news in Fort Collins, Colorado at the Tiny Whoop Proving Grounds. For this intergalactic championship, pilots came from around the world as far as Canada, and some of the biggest names in FPV were at this race. The final 4 consisted of Christian Peterson, known as FPV Provo, taking first, Jordan Timken, also known as Jet on DRL, taking second, Chris Garza, known as Gars, taking third, and Mr. Whoop himself, Jesse Perkins, taking fourth. Congratulations to Christian at his recent win, and we look forward to seeing you defend your championship next year. And finally, for our top 4 news stories of the week, the Mini Mayhem race being held just outside of Lafayette, Louisiana by the Academia FPV chapter run by Shannon Broussard will be hosting a team-built race. What that means is pilots will be competing to complete 200 laps. There will be 7 teams made up between 4 and 5 pilots, and this course designed specifically for teams will require these teams to run constantly, changing batteries and retrieving quads when they crash. It should be a very exciting race, so we look forward to the live stream, and if you're in the area, make sure you stop in and watch. And now for your regional series update. As we move into the 2017 regional series, we are going to provide you with weekly updates on chapter standings and regional qualifiers right here on MultiGP News. The very first qualifier in the country took place in Naples, Florida on Sunday, held by South Florida Multi-Rotor. And even though it's a new chapter, 20 of the state's fastest pilots turned out for their first shot at the regional finals.
Drone pilots gathering from all around the state to kick off the first Florida regional qualifiers in Naples.
Just, a lot of people have gone a lot faster this year, so I got my work cut out for me, man.
Now I'm in Heat 1, Race 1, Group 1. Gotta be ready to go. Game face is on.
The event, organized by the South Florida Multi-Rotor chapter, giving pilots a chance to compete with some top pilots in the state.
It's major intimidating. It's also awesome to see because you can't progress unless you got people better than you. So it's amazing. It's intense.
The track giving pilots a platform to test their skills and speed. Jeremiah, one of the chapter organizers, designing this track.
The sense that semi-designed it around a finals bits, saw some final elements and took our own and put it together in that sense. And about 3 hours later, illustrated design, and the pilots couldn't be more happier once they saw it. And really, we're just expecting something fun, but it looks really fast and really tricky.
The pilots were split into 5 heats. At the end of 5 rounds of racing, their 3 highest runs were rounded out to get the top score.
It's down to this, a tiebreaker for the 5th and final spots. EM Drones and Code Red are going to have to battle it out head-to-head.
And the number 3 spot going to Abel Navahawk Almaguer, with the 2nd spot going to Sergio Atomic Herrera, and the number 1 spot going to Frank Realize Mane Jr.
I'd like to thank all my sponsors for keeping me in the air today. OptiPower for my battery needs, Racecraft for keeping my props so fresh and so clean, and of course UBAD for my ESCs, VTX, and frame, and of course that LaForge. Gravity Goons, baby, and I'll see you guys at the regional final. Let's get it.
So remember, every week we'll update you on the standings and highlight the top pilots moving up in the rankings. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to hit one of the hottest topics in the industry, clones. Every week, we're going to dive into one of the most controversial or talked about stories in the drone community. This week, we're looking into the cloning industry and the impact it's having on business and prices. It's not a new problem, but it blew up recently with several posts on social media. MultiGP news reporter Jesse Friedman spoke with some of the innovators to get their opinion.
So whether you're here at a quad store or you're buying parts online, the consumers may not realize that they're faced with a choice, whether to buy clone parts or real parts. But I'll tell you who it does have an impact on, the guys making it. Call it the attack of the clones. Only this is no Hollywood movie. This is an issue hitting some of FPV's leading innovators right in the pocket.
So I felt like I'd been robbed. I mean, you stole what I had. I'm creating this market and this design and these innovations. Why would you do that? I mean, I'm giving you a product and a profit. What are you doing?
I spoke with 3 of those innovators online: Alex Grieve of Video Aerial Systems, Scott Fan of Racecraft, and Tommy Bartek of Diatone USA. All 3 have seen their own ideas stolen from Chinese factories.
And this company sent me the image of the frame, not even knowing that I was associated with the Hong Kong company, and asked me if I wanted to buy it. And it was 100% a clone.
People said, well, Banggood's going to clone it in a week. And I said, well, then Banggood's going to get their heads banged good with a Louisville Slugger.
And it's become a hot topic on social media. Scott Fan of Racecraft recently posted on Facebook that he was going out of business because of companies cloning his propellers.
That's just that, crazy racecraft all day, every day. And it's just jokes.
However, he has a different take on clones.
Nobody wants it to happen, and I guess if it does happen to you, it's a big sign of, you're doing something right, because if nobody's cloning you, you're not doing something right, man. It's like you're not relevant unless you got haters.
And more recently, This Facebook post from Alex Grieve breaking down the cost of his latest project. Notice the most expensive thing on there? Patenting.
I decided to patent it partially because I believe what they're saying is right, even though I don't understand. And the other part is it's bragging rights. Hey, I own a U.S. patent.
So if not patents, what else?
When you go in and you look at things, every other industry like NFL, football, baseball, everything else, they turn around and they have license agreements that sit in place. They don't care if somebody clones something as much as they just are built a brand. And so when you have that brand out there, if you want to use their name, make it out there readily available and let people know that you can lease that name.
Another big item on the budget, research and development, something cloning companies don't have to worry about. In a way, it does add competition to the marketplace, but maybe not in a good way.
So long as the market is small and community-based, you can survive. But now this industry has grown very, very large, and the cloning has become absolutely rampant. And therefore, it's very frequent that companies like Banggood will get a clone out before the authentic ever hits the market. And what that does is that instead of innovators continuing to innovate, that pushes them out of the market completely.
Whichever way you look at it, cloning is having a real effect, both on the ability for companies to create new ideas and the ability for those companies to sustain their business.
I welcome honest competition, but on the other hand, the clones, I probably would have employed, twice as many people had I never been cloned. So it's a double-edged sword.
And for Scott, it's emotional. For him, the sport is always about putting the pilots first.
I live it all through these guys, like Johnny doing this acro thing, like he's killing it. Sean's always winning races and, helping those guys support their dreams and making things happen for them. So whenever these guys achieve those moments, man, I'm getting choked up right now because they're family, so when they make it, it's like we all make it.
So as we've seen, clones can definitely have an impact on the drone community. However, only a small percentage of retailers are actually doing that. Most stores like this 305 Drones in South Florida and most of your online retailers actually pride themselves in only selling legitimate products. So if you're going out to buy stuff, just be careful. Reporting for MultiGP TV, I'm Jesse Friedman.
And coming up after the break, we'll open up the calendar and take a look at everything you'll want to know for the next week. As a reminder, Sunday, March 26 will be the Mini Mayhem race just outside of Lafayette, Louisiana. Also on the calendar is the Collegiate Drone Nationals being hosted at Purdue University on April 15th, where 40 pilots from different colleges will come together to compete for the first ever College Drone Championships. And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to MultiGP News. We hope to see you here again. We're going to do our best to put on an awesome show. If it's terrible, that's okay. You can make fun of us.
Chris, wake up. Yeah, it's news time.
This is Chris Thomas, and you're watching MultiGP News.
And now, the crash of the day, sponsored by...
Thanks for watching. If you're interested in being showcased in the next episode of MultiGP News, please contact us at news@multigp.com.